Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. It's so much fun to be with you. It's a calming effect on me, by the way. So, what are we going to hear for music? Oh my goodness, you are in for such a treat. So this gentleman has been here before, but the first time that he was here, I really didn't know him, not real well. I hadn't really experienced the reality of him. Now, not only do I know him, but I know him. And he's an amazing musician. He's had an incredible life. He's been serving the music community for a couple of years, a couple of decades. And he knows things that a lot of people don't know. He reaches out to others and invests in the music in his community. And he writes music, plays music, sings music, and he's here to perform for you, and I get a personal show. So I'm the lucky one. Stay tuned, sit back, relax, have some kind of beverage or something, popcorn, whatever, and enjoy the incredible music of Leo Sunday.
Truck, and I sleep there sometimes. On stage at night, I tell stories in rhyme. I lay down a chord, a lyric or two, a twist of a phrase, laugh for 'em through. On an old man's journey, white-bearded troubadour. I'm 24, and a hell of a lot more. Just live for today and let be with me. I follow the wind and I live hard and free. Well, I ain't no somebody, but that ain't everything blue. Well, I've been down on country roads, had my fire lit. Come on, baby, light that fire. Been called the space cowboy and mostly full of, well, it rhymes with it. A nomad in my soul, seeking gold from it, pirate old. Slave for Agent Orange yet to have their big dreams told. I see daylight dim as twilight settling in. Too old to change, too dumb to learn again. And I'm trying to tell you my story. You might learn what there is to lose. Just remember, you ain't no somebody, but that ain't everything blue. Well, this is usually the kazoo solo, but today I think I'll just talk to you a spell. You know, it's okay to not be a somebody, the richest or the most popular. How about we just be kind to each other? You know, listen to each other. That'll be okay, wouldn't it? I think so. I see daylight dim as twilight settling in. Too old to change, too dumb to learn again. And I'm trying to tell you my story. You might learn what there is to lose. Just remember, you ain't no somebody, but that ain't everything blues. No, you ain't, yeah. You ain't no somebody, but that ain't everything blues.
Woohoo!
Oh, thank you so much. That was kind of a semi-autobiographical song to start us off. This next one I'm going to do is a tribute to one of my idols. We lost him this past Sunday, Chris Christopherson. It's a song that I just wrote a few weeks ago. It's called When All You Rock Stars Are Gone, because we're losing so many of you. And I don't think I've played this in public before, so you're getting a debut. Those sure were remembered good times when we stood at the stage, cheering to your soaring guitars. Then was so tight was a smoking hot night when you played us our dreams from afar. We knew every word as we sung every song when we played them on our home stereos. Our parties would crank out those anthems so strong as we lived out those nights at the shows. Through so many changes, through so many years, you helped us keep our dreams alive. When we were down on life was bad luck, we listened and make things alright. Now too many tears and too many years, almost none of you left on stage. Although your music lives on, it will be a sad day when all of your rock stars are gone. When all of your rock stars are gone. Your songs were so cool, gave us strength, gave us life. They reached in and pulled at our soul. It's funny how kids still listen to you, trying to find what we had for its soul. Through so many changes, through so many years, you helped us keep our dreams alive. When we were down or life was potluck, we could listen and make things alright. Now too many years and too many tears, almost none of you left on stage. Although your music is on, it will be a sad day when all of your rock stars are gone. When all of your rock stars are gone. A few weeks ago, in the attic's dim glow, I dusted off that old stereo. A party of one, I listened to some, and it brought me right back to your shows. Through so many changes, through so many years, you helped us keep our dreams alive. Although your music lives on, it will be a sad day when all of your rock stars are gone. When all of your rock stars are gone. Thank you, Chris.
Woohoo!
Thank you. This next one, actually, Doc could be considered part of this crew. We all need guardian angels in life. And this is a song I wrote about a special person in my life who I consider my fearless angel. And you know who you are if you're watching this. The fire's biting at my fears, and it shows. The shadows blinding myth appears. This is my weary soul. You torn me down just to build me up. This helpless, hapless, lost and worn out heart of gold. Fearless angel, take me down to the river. Take me down, take me down. Fearless angel, take me down to the river. Take away this broken down. To lie among your truth was just a dream. I tried to love you, at least it seemed. You made take me down. Feel this angel take me down to the river, take away this thorny crown. The freezing fire still burning now, coming strongly, pushing down. Just keep your wits above the dance. Even the lost can love, given half a chance. Feel this angel take me down to the river, take me down, take me down. Feel this angel take me down to the river, take away this thorny crown. Feel this angel take me down to the river, take me down, take me down. Feel this angel take me down to the river, take away this broken down. Thank you. So that last song and the next couple of songs are from an upcoming project called Inside Out. It's kind of a all introspective kinds of things. And this next song, it's called If I Only. It's taking the perspective of, I would have probably turned out better if I had only looked at my life through the eyes of those who loved me at the time. So here we go. If I only, if I only, if I only. If I only could have seen me through my father's eyes. Boy, how I could have been a better son. So many fights, too many lies. Now I guess his toughness wasn't love. If I only, if I only, if I only could have seen me through my father's eyes. If I only could have seen me through my best girl's eyes. 'Cause without her was never meant to be the plan. Left without either ever putting up a fight. When her eyes screamed, I never should have ran. If I only, if I only, if I only could have seen me through my best girl's eyes. If I only could have seen me through your eyes. Boy, how I could have been a better man. Seems like I learned to see me through only lies. Now if I meant to hurt you, didn't understand. If I only, if I only, if I only could have seen me through your eyes. As I think about my life in full, how I gave out and took in love. Too much taker, too long a faker, not enough reliance from above. If I only, if I only, if I only could have seen me through your eyes. If I only could have seen me through my son's eyes. Boy, how I could have been a better dad. Too many times I choose work instead of play. Now he's gone and the memory of him fades. If I only could have seen me through my son's eyes. If I only could have seen me through your eyes. Boy, how I could have been a better man. Seems like I learned to see me through only lies. Never meant to hurt you, didn't understand. If I only, 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 if I only could have seen me through your eyes. Thank you. That was a little emotional. Sorry, I kind of lost it there in the middle. This next song, again, I'm telling you this because I wanted to prepare you. This next song is also kind of emotional. It's a story about my dad. My dad was one of those alpha males. He could do it all in his prime. But this is a story about a conversation that we had towards the end. He had some strokes. He had a lot of heart issues. And he was sitting in a rehab house, rehab center, and said, you know, I just can't deal with this anymore. Let's get myself in tune here. And it's called I Used to Be the One. Drinking the freezing sun, breathing the burning cold. My mind spins out of time, no sign of self-control. Fell in the steady stream, lay here among the lost. Fell from the one last dream, lay in a lifelong frost. I used to be the one you'd always count on me, the one who got things done. Now I'll just let them be. I used to be the one. I used to be the one. If you could see me then, for I fell from the weight. The journey burned a hole. The sweetness stole my faith. I used to be the one you'd always count on me, the one who got things done. Now I just let them be. I used to be the one. I used to be the one. The light still dimly glows, still ain't gone away. I'll follow till I find a way to stop the pain. I used to be the one you'd always count on me, the one who got things done. Now I'll just let them be. I used to be the one you'd always count on me, the one who got things done. Now I'll just let them be. I used to be the one. I used to be the one. Thank you very much. So, you know, it's an emotional song, but it's kind of a downer. Now I have my own perspective on getting a little more experience and older, and it's called Just Grow Young.
I'm all about that.
Feeling all these aches and pains, I especially creak in a cold, hot rain. I turn up the volume so the music can keep me from going insane. Just some coffee in my pills for breakfast loom. Now dinner's on the table in the afternoon. Senior moments, hearing aids, it's all come on away too soon. Growing old is coming oh so fast. Seems like the good stuff, life can never last. Feels so senseless to keep on fighting to relive my past. Just grow young and breathe in the light. Just grow young. Crank the music from your best days and nights. Then smile at the memory of how you killed it, babe. With delight, just grow young. Well, she came to me in my lowest days. Giving up, tossed my shield away. Stopped me cold in my tracks. Took action with no delay. She picked up my shield and tossed it back and said, hold on to it, son, you'll never fade to black. Living strong and full speed, the one and only way. Growing old is coming oh so fast. Seems like the good stuff in life can never last. Feels so senseless to keep on fighting to relive my past. Just grow young and breathe in the light. Just grow young and crank the music from your best days and nights. Then smile at the memory of how you killed it, babe. With delight, just grow young. Well, that sun so strong takes away the pain. Give me warm, pulls away from pain. Fending on the good night, the shield held high keeps me sane. So moment by moment I live every day. It seems after all what you give and in play. Love and live more as we keep all our fears held at bay. Just grow young and breathe in the light. Just grow young and crank the music from your best days and nights. Then smile at the memory of how you killed it, babe. With delight, just grow young. Just grow young, babies.
Woo-hoo!
All right, how we doing on time? We good?
We're good.
Couple
I'll
more?
let you know.
Good.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
so that was one project called Inside Out. The other project, and that's going to be actually, that project will be released late in December of 25. This next project is called Sunday in the Country, and that's being released in probably June of 25. And this album is going to be recorded live in the beginning of March. I've got a band coming up and everything for it. And here's a couple country songs from that. This is a love song I wrote to my wife, Crystal. I don't play guitar like billet strings. I can't sing like Johnny Cash. I'm not heading for no Nashville stage, except them open mics for laughs. I tried to write that perfect song to tell you this is real. Words come hard when trying to say the way I really feel. Yeah, there ain't but one thing I can surely do, is to sing these simple words. I love you. A farmer's life takes simple one, with corn and beans to grow. There ain't much time for fussing about things a woman wants you to know. Our first date weren't much on conversating, wearing our Sunday best. That beat up truck that pick you up, well, you sure as hell know the rest. Now there ain't but one thing I can surely do, is to sing these simple words. I love you. Soft summer rain, a gentle wind, sweet smell of coming spring. A simple life, a farmer's wife, my heart is what I bring. And that heart left when you first came outside, still does today. If only I could write that song, the music it would say. Now there ain't but one thing I can surely do, is to sing these simple words. I love you. Now you have to imagine a pedal steel right here. I'm not going to sing that for you, sorry. And that heart leapt when you first came outside, still does today. If only I could write that song, the music it would say. Now there ain't but one thing I can surely do, is to sing these simple words. I love you. All right. We still have time for one more?
Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I have, that's the right song. Here it is. Good. This song was written, well, first of all, it's titled American Forge. There was a restaurant bar in Naugatuck called American Forge. It was a great gathering place, and the owners were tremendous people. They, which camera? Are we over here? I want to be able to look into the camera for this part. Taryn and Mike. Amazing people. They did everything for veterans. They had giveaways. They sponsored every Little League team and every soccer league. Great, great people. Unfortunately, they did not make it through the pandemic. They closed shop. But we did a benefit for them, and this particular song I wrote for them called American Forged. And also, I'm very pleased to say that I was in Nashville a couple of weeks ago, and first time really trying the open mics out and all that. And I played the song at an open mic and got me to a writer's round, which is kind of the next level. So pretty happy about that. Now that I've set it up, hopefully I can play it for you. It's called American Forge. Well, it's Friday night, been a hell of a week. I work so hard just to make ends meet. It's finally time to go out and have some fun. There is a place I'd like to go to help me just forget the show. You know that workplace rat race we all run. And my old Ford knows when we're going there. I start a rub, she knows just where. Everything's gonna be alright. Yeah, we got Jerry singing like Johnny Cash, Sean playing roots, drinking moonshine mass, Jason karaoke till closing time. Mike keeps cooking up in the back while Terrence serving golden Cadillac. Mix us all together, you know we'll be just fine. 'Cause we're American forged, forged by American art. We all stand apart. Let's all party tonight. It's gonna be alright. 'Cause we are American Fords. Well, old Toby got it right when he said, I love this bar. Place where you are welcome, and love for who you are. Well, I wouldn't trade a minute for the time that I got left, just hanging with my crazy friends. You know you are the best, 'cause we're American Fords, forged by American art. We all come together, red, white, and blue America, doing our part. Let's all party tonight. It's gonna be alright, 'cause we are American Fords, a place that honors veterans and always helps the poor. Giving is just a way of life. Check your ego at the door. Oh, American Fords. Whoa, whoa, American Fords. Let's all party tonight. It's gonna be alright, 'cause we are American Fords. We are American Fords, forged by American heart. We all come together, red, white, and blue America, doing our part. Let's all party tonight. It's gonna be alright, 'cause we are American Fords.
Woo-hoo! Come on over and talk to me.
I'll be over.
While Leo's getting over here to settle in and chit-chat with me, let me remind you that there is so much going on. We have a brand new gallery on Bank Street. It's where Hot Rods used to be. It's called The Local, I believe, and it's being managed by my dear friend Susan McKay. And they're having a little art show. You can go in there and get, I think, up to 3 canvases and do what you want on them. They're 10 by 10. Everybody's piece of art is all going to be the same. It's going to be very cool. So go check that out. Also, the F-Stops here goes into the gallery today and tomorrow, like Saturday and Sunday. And that F-Stops Here show will run for a month. And coming up on November 2nd, we're going to have a fundraiser for World Kindness Day at the Hygienic. World Kindness Day is November 13th. I'm very excited about it. And I really want you all to be involved. We have so many musicians involved in the fundraiser. And the day of World Kindness Day, there's going to be things going on all over the city that will be showing acts of kindness, as we should. We should all be kind. It's easy. And just for the record, kindness is a superpower. Let's talk to my kind friend. Hi.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
You
I get to
haven't
hang
been
out
on
with
this
you.
show for a long time.
It's been a while, yeah.
I think my dog wants to get down. He
Come
was
on.
sleeping while you were.
Maybe smelling my dog. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, sleeping through my performance. I
No,
think
that's
it's
a good
sign.
thing. That means that your
Yeah.
music is listenable and
Hey.
wonderful.
You smell my Lexi.
So tell me about what's going on with you in Nashville. You have been running back and forth to Nashville a little
have.
bit now.
I have. Well,
What's going on
as
with that?
you know, I'm kind of in this mode in my career where I'm trying to help and support other people, but I'm still trying to do my own thing. at the same time.
Right.
So right before the pandemic, I kind of in a different mode of life. I left my career as an educator, and I had the good fortune to be able to afford to buy a camper van. So I bought a van. I started traveling. The whole idea was to put a recording studio in it and do music all over. So I started going down to Nashville because that's Music City. I mean, that was fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I started getting the lay of the land and understanding what it would take to, do it. And really, eventually, if I really got serious, I'd have to move there. And my wife and I have had those conversations. We're not ready quite yet, but so I had to come up with alternate plans. And
I'm not sure I like the idea of you moving away from here. So just that's my opinion.
That's very sweet. Very sweet. If you could convince Connecticut to stop taxing pensions, I'll be
Well, there
happy
you
with
go.
that. Yeah. Anyways, so I started, I'm involved in so many different songwriting things, and I got to meet some incredible people here in Connecticut as part of that. One name will not be mentioned because you mentioned it 10 times every show.
Right.
So we know who that is. You know who you are. I don't even need to say her name. Thank you. She was at my studio yesterday, actually.
And she was watching your live. I went live.
She's the best. Anyways, so I wanted to figure out a way to help some of the Connecticut songwriters kind of take that next step because it can be scary to go down to
Daunting.
the unknown. Yeah. So I developed kind of a fun little trip. I can take 2 songwriters each trip, and right now we're going bi-monthly. I have an Airbnb that I found that's really convenient, inexpensive, and it's got 3 separate bedrooms and nice facilities just outside of Nashville. So we drive, because we take all our equipment, and I bring my portable recording studio so we can record when we're down there. And then we go at it. We start by getting down to Nashville by Friday night. We leave very early Friday morning from Cheshire, Connecticut, and we get there by 10 at night on Friday night. Have a good night's sleep, hit the road running on Saturday morning. We go right down to Broadway at 10 o'clock in the morning because that's the best time to get in there. All the bands are already playing and there's not a million people yet. We do some kind of a tour because I call Saturday my Get to Know Nashville Day.
Okay.
So especially if you're new to Nashville, we'll do a tour. This November trip, there's our next trip scheduled. We're doing the Grand Ole Opry. But we'll do the Black History Music Museum. We'll do the Country Music Hall of Fame, Johnny Cash Museum. There's lots of stuff like that. And then we will, in the evening, on Saturdays, we go to the Bluebird Cafe, which I've learned through experience, very hard to get in there to perform. At some point, hopefully we can. But we've tried, even the open mic, you have to go online. And we tried it last time. They were open up at 11 o'clock. They had 18 slots online. So we went online at 5 of 11, started going in, and not open yet, not open yet, not open yet, sold out. So we realized it's going to be tough. So we go there on Saturday night. We have a great time. We see some of the greatest songwriters in Nashville. And then the rest of the times, Sunday, we usually do a recording session. If we're writing or we bring other people in and record, we have co-writing sessions with people from Nashville and our own group that comes. We do all kinds of stuff. We go to open mics. We go to writers' rounds. On our next trip, my colleague Tim Longden, who came with me on the last trip, and I are both scheduled to play in 2 writers' rounds at the famed Commodore Grill. I almost lost the name. In West Nashville. They've been doing writers' rounds for over 30 years, and it's really very cool that we got into there to do a writers' round. So we do that. I schedule meetings like with BMI and ASCAP so people can get to understand what performance rights organizations are.
Yep. That's important.
It really is. It really is, and I'm learning as I go too. So.
Yep.
It's been fun, and we meet people. It's a lot about networking in this business. And especially if you want to be a songwriter who gets songs cut. I don't want to talk about getting paid, but you want to focus on getting your songs cut by an artist. And if you can, you have to know people and network and do all that good stuff.
We have to do that in all of our occupations, but I think that certainly music, it's about networking, but even bigger than that is connecting and making sure that connection sticks.
Yes.
We all talk to each other and whatever, but if we don't know each other and really understand where we're all coming from, then it just doesn't go anywhere. And I think that you and our friend know that really well.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just saw a video. I'm a YouTube junkie, and I'm always trying to find new information about the things I'm interested in, which right now is songwriting. And I just saw a video yesterday on that very topic, how many young songwriters go in and they know network is important, so they just meet everybody, but they don't have any kind of relationships. And then they wonder why things aren't happening.
It's so important. Yeah. I just have started to develop a relationship with a young man named Frankie Vale.
Oh, yeah.
And Yeah, he knows exactly what we're talking about, and
Yeah.
he's doing it, and he's going to make some changes in this state, and I think it would be good for all of us
Yeah.
to be connected to him and work with him. He's going to come down here and do a little
Good.
show here also. Let's talk about your songwriting. Do you feel like that your songwriting has evolved into something that's more about you and your life in the last decade or so?
Yes and no. I'm kind of going down two paths. I really wanted to do that. I wanted to be introspective and really explore me and get down deep and pull some things out. I told you about a song that I wrote in the last couple of days that I'm ready to perform it, but I'm not ready to emotionally perform it. It's called My Grandpa's Hands.
Right.
It's about me being a 5-year-old and remembering my grandfather's hands, and I just can't. I'm tearing up now thinking about it. So that was really important for me. That if I only, hugely important for me to kind of pull that out. Used to be the one. I tell the story that's about my father, but there's a little of me in there too.
Right.
And so,
I heard
Yeah.
you in it through the whole song.
Yeah. So those are great, and I have about 15 of those that I've written in the last few years. But at the same time, I've always loved being a storyteller, and I have this method that I use. I don't know where it came from, but I'm also a big fan of Norman Rockwell. And that maybe is because when I was a salesman, when I was a youngster, I used to go to Arlington, Vermont all the time, one of the places he lived.
Yep.
I just love this painting. I love this story. I would stay in his
He was
art
an
studio.
incredible storyteller in just one piece of art.
Yeah,
right?
That's what really amazed me. And so what I try to do is I try to paint in my mind a Norman Rockwell scene, and then I write about it in my music. And that's
wow.
So for instance, I have a bunch of country songs that I'm working on now, and one is called Honky Tonk Night, and I painted that Norman Rockwell scene in my head before I kind of went after what I'm doing. But I can sing "I Love You," that love song I did for my wife. It's really a scene that I created about a lima bean farmer in Illinois. I had met him when I was out and about camping somewhere, and it's my message to my wife, but it's based on
A lima bean farmer.
That painting, yeah. He corn too. Big, huge farm. You were talking probably
Right.
quarter of the state.
I don't understand that. I don't like lima beans. Why would anybody eat a lima bean?
Succotash.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
Nope, I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
I'm going to do a plug. Moose's Burger, I don't know. Well, this is not a
Moose's
commercial.
Burgers.
Moose's Burgers does a succotash that will knock you out.
If it's got lima beans in it, it won't knock me
Oh,
out.
I'm telling you.
I'm not down with it.
Okay.
I'm not going there.
I won't force
Nope.
you.
But I do want to get to Moose's Burgers because everybody's playing there.
Saturday is our friend. She's playing.
I heard that. She
I'm not saying your name
There's
today.
a
I know
lot
you're
going on.
watching.
There's a lot going on this weekend. So I'm hoping to get out there for that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have to write an article this weekend, so I don't have to sit at my computer.
So one last thing I want to say about my songwriting is that going to Nashville now and sitting in on some of these writers' rounds humbles you, because you realize that there's amazing songwriters that aren't, they're just at the same level that we are right now, but the lyrics and the stories are just phenomenal, amazing.
I see that locally. I do.
Oh,
I see
yeah.
that locally. We have some amazing, incredible songwriters, and the music that's coming out of Connecticut right now is just phenomenal. And you're part of that. Let's talk about your history. You've been in a few bands over the last
Yeah.
couple of decades.
Yeah,
Let's-
4 decades at
Let's
least.
go back to the beginning. And
Ooh.
who are some of the bands you've played with that maybe our listeners will recognize? We've got some elderly listeners that have been around for.
Well, most of my career I was a freelance trumpet player.
Yep.
Which meant that I would play when someone paid me, pretty
Yep.
much. But I started, I had my first professional engagement at 13 years old. I was playing with, and you won't recognize this, but the Michael Lange band, and it was a little society band. But through high school, I played all kinds of things. And then my first big thing was senior year in high school. I won an audition to play in a national orchestra called
Nice.
America's Youth in Concert. And got to play through Europe and at Carnegie Hall and
nice.
Royal Albert Hall, Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. I mean, the list goes on. So that was kind of cool. Out of college, when I started playing professionally before I went to work for my dad, I started playing. It was the early 80s, we had a disco band. We played the Catskills, stuff like that. Now, as a freelance trumpet player, which over the last 30 years I've primarily done, based in Connecticut, most of my work has been at the Palace in Waterbury or local symphonies or subbing with this orchestra or that orchestra. But I've gotten to play with some really cool people. I played with the Temptations.
Cool.
I played with Bobby Vinton, or for Bobby Vinton, when his show came through. And I played a lot of national tours of musicals that when they came through the area, like White Christmas, Peter Pan, when I think it was Kathy Rigby. She was playing with it, and I got to do the Sound of Music the last time it came through. Bunch of shows at the national tours, which really, to me, that was my pinnacle.
That's
I had made a
such a
choice
cool
not to go to
thing.
New York at one point in my life because I wanted to raise kids and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun as a trumpet player. Now, I have some things going on health-wise that kind of, you wouldn't know it if you heard me play, but I know that there's a difference.
Right.
So I'm kind of backing off of some of the things that I've done for my career trumpet playing, but that gives me more time to write music and to do songwriting stuff and to help and support people. And I have a little recording studio now that I
That's
spend my time
awesome
doing.
for you.
It's all working great.
It's so good. So while you were playing, you talked about some CD releases
Yes.
that are dropping in.
I have 2 releases coming out next year. I don't know if they're going to be CDs. It might surprise you and do vinyl. I mean,
I'd be all over it.
I'm going to there'll be EPs and all the nonsense that you got to do. But they'll probably I'm going back to vinyl. I really trying to do that.
Vinyl's where it's at.
Yeah, so I have
There's nothing like analog.
So I got you get ideas from everywhere. This young man, I don't know if you've had him on your show, John Tarbox.
I think I have had him on my show.
You might have. He's an up and
So
comer.
many.
Yeah, I know.
So many.
Well, he did something really cool with his first album, mostly because he didn't have a lot of money to produce it. He went in the studio with the whole band, found a place that he could record the whole band in one room.
Yep.
And did the whole thing in like 2 days, and it sounded great. So I'm taking a cue from him for this country album, and I'm going to record it live over 2 nights at a place called the Barn in Prospect. I'm already in the process of putting a band together, and it's going to be a blast. We'll rehearse for a couple months. I'll probably do a couple gigs before we get it. And to tell you where I am with trumpet playing, I have a bucket list trumpet that's very expensive that I bought about 10 years ago that I'm selling to fund this project. So I have another trumpet I can play with. Don't worry, contractors. I can still come to the gig.
Well, that's a good thing. We don't want you to lose that.
Not with the expensive
Now,
one anymore.
every once in a while when you introduce yourself as an educator, not as a musician. Where's the fine line between those two? Because there is a very fine line.
It's a blur. It's definitely blurred because I've always, and it's been since I was a kid, really, I've always enjoyed helping other people, I guess is what it boils down to. I can remember in college, I went to college thinking I was going to replace the principal trumpet at the New York Philharmonic when I got out of college. But by the time I left college, I really wanted to be an educator. I really enjoyed teaching and had a great run at it.
You really did. You really moved up the scale and were pretty invested in the educational system here in Connecticut.
Yeah, I was. It was a beautiful career, and I loved it. It was interesting how life works, though. I was right at the top of my career. I just gotten a certification to be a superintendent of schools. I was a principal for 10 years. And I had to really think hard about that because it meant the few gigs that I was still taking, 4 or 5 a month, I really couldn't do anymore because you really need to devote almost 24/7 when you're a superintendent.
Absolutely.
You've got a lot of night meetings, et cetera.
Hard work.
So I didn't have to make that decision. My higher power made that decision for me, allowed me to have to leave everything because I had about 100 blood clots in my lungs
Oh, my goodness.
And he decided, you still got work to do, bud, so I'm not taking you yet. But I'm giving you a little time out here.
Well, I'm so glad you did the things you did then and that you're doing the things you're doing now. We've run out of time.
Whew. How did that happen?
Well, I told you that would happen with us. Happens with us all
Yeah,
the
it
time,
does.
Leo.
It's true.
I love having you here on the show. What I was going to say about the CDs is when we drop them, we come CDs, LPs,
Yeah, I
whatever,
gotcha.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. When you're ready to drop that music, you bring it back here. You bring it to the radio station.
Got it.
We'll put it on the air. You
Yep.
know I'm all about what you're doing. Thank you for being here. Will you take us out with a song?
Oh, absolutely.
I love having you here, Leo. You're
Thank you.
so inspiring.
This last song that I'm going, well, maybe we should go over there.
You go over there, and while he's getting back set up, we are heading into the winter months. It is fall, and there's some holidays coming up. There's a holiday at the end of this month that has turned into kind of a dangerous holiday. I'm sorry to say that. I think it's disgusting, but please, please, please be careful of how you allow your children to go out at the end of the month. I'm not even going to name the holiday. You know what one it is. If you let them go out and collect some treats, please go through them, check them thoroughly. There are fentanyl testing kits in all of your pharmacies. Pick one up, please. Let's keep our kids safe. Let's keep the holiday as fun as we can allow it to be. And then we'll move on to the next holidays. I love you all. Take care of each other. Remember, without us, there'd be no community. We need each other. Love you. Talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Dot. This last song, you notice I have this purple band on. I'm dedicating it to my sister Beth, who died at 57 years old of cancer. The song's called We Live, and you'll understand why I'm dedicating it to her very soon. We breathe, we play, we learn, we say, we walk, we run, we fly, we fray. We live to see another day. We can choose to live life on display or run and hide into the night. It's who we are. It's either way. We live. The message from the doctor was to come and see her now. We all know what that means when the nurse news is not allowed. So she second cuts her chemo and in pain. It's rough to lose your hair and watch it circling the drain. She breathes, she plays, she learns, she says, she walks, she runs, she flies, she frays, she lives to see another day. You can choose to live life on display or run and hide into the dark. It's who we are. It's either way we live. He gently wiped away the crumbs from her now trembling mouth. She leans in just a little, and she knows what that's about. 60 years of never unrequited love they give. Eye to eye, cheek to cheek, hand in hand.